What's up, YouTube? This is Mountains97, and we're back this time with the Battleground, post-Battleground podcast, and I'm back once again with BrendenPlayz.
Hello.
And overall, I think we both agree that this pay-per-view was sort of meh. I don't know, it just kind of seemed like it was just a Sunday Night Raw, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, just your average show, to be honest. Wasn't really that good. Nothing special out of it. Just, I don't know. I think it was better than Night of Champions, but that's not really saying much. But I don't know. Nothing special.
They kind of did the same thing tonight that they did at Night of Champions, where they just had some like random last-minute feuds thrown in.
Yeah, well, look at you had the Intercontinental Championship match that was thrown together last minute. You had the tag team match of Carly Santino versus Real Americans that was thrown together last minute, and then you had Bray Wyatt versus Kofi Kingston thrown together at last minute, which I was expecting a Kane return, but that didn't happen, so that just made it boring. And I don't know. I think that's all last minute ones, but still nothing great. Oh yeah, and also the pre-show match. I don't know where they got that one from, but threw
Yeah.
that together last minute, so pretty poor booking.
All right, so I guess we'll start off with the kickoff. This will probably be a short one because there really isn't that much to talk about. But I kind of caught this one like halfway through. The match, I thought it looked okay. I didn't really see a whole lot though. But
That was decent.
is it,
Nothing really special. Just a your normal kickoff match. It was just a normal TV kind of match that you'd have to expect on Raw between Ziggler and Sandow. Which I think Sandow, I don't think he's really done a good match yet. It just doesn't really impress me in the ring that much. But Ziggler was good. I think he got the win. Yeah, I think he won.
yeah, he had that thing where Sandow had, like pulled down the knee pad and was using that, and then he quote unquote
Yeah,
injured his knee, and then Ziggler
yeah.
kind of
Which
just kicked it and
I,
then hit the zigzag.
I think they did the whole knee work injury to explain why he wouldn't have cashed in, which shouldn't have cashed in anyway. We'll get into that in a minute, but yeah, it was an alright match. Sandow and Ziggler, whatever. I don't think it really would have improved anyone's. I don't think anyone would have wanted to buy the show after watching the match, but I think they kind of tried to tease that there was going to be a cash in to sell some tickets, sell some buys at the last minute. But yeah, I doubt that would have worked. But it is what it is. It's a pre-show. You get it for free. You can't complain.
Yeah, so then we started off the actual pay-per-view with the World Heavyweight Championship match, which, they had some pretty good time, the hardcore match. I thought it was okay. I mean, it could have been a little bit better. They could have got a little more time, like you said earlier. But, I don't know, I thought they had some pretty good spots, but overall, it definitely could have been better.
And one spot I really liked was the tornado DDT under the chair. I thought that was awesome. Yeah, like you said, some decent spots, not too bad, but I thought it needed another 5 minutes or so just to kind of get a table involved or something. And the crowd was chanting, "We want tables" the whole match, and they didn't get one, which was disappointing for them. And then I think that kind of just went disappointed them for the most of the show because it just went on a downhill trend from there. But it was alright. I mean, it's a hardcore match. I think RVD was good. Del Rio was alright. The finish was cool with the arm breaker on the chair. It actually made it look pretty brutal, to be honest. I thought, oh, he's definitely going to tap from this. No Ricardo heel turn, thank God. So it didn't. It made, like, if Ricardo had a turn heel, it would make no sense at all. Where to now? I think RVD goes away. He's now off contract or whatever he's got. He's got his 3 month break or whatever. Rey Mysterio is scheduled to be back at the end of October. So what are we now? We are. I don't know. When's Hell in a Cell? Probably end of the month. So probably too late for him to come back. So you can't really get another RVD match in now with Del Rio. It would make sense because he's lost cleanly now. So where do you go with the world title? That's one of the big issues right now. That we've spoken about this in the last podcast, but where do you go now? That's the problem.
Now, I had been thinking that they might have had, if not a Sandow cash, an RVD win here, just so they could stretch it out and have a Hell in the Cell match next month or whenever the next pay-per-view is going to be. But they didn't decide to go that route, so I guess we're not going to see the world title inside Hell in the Cell. I mean, unless they pull
I
something
don't
out of
think it
their
would have
ass.
anyway.
But
I think there'll only be one Hell in a Cell match, and that'll be Orton, Daniel Bryan, and maybe the Big Show. We'll get into that later. But uh, yeah, I think RVD's off contract or something now. His contract's up, so there's got some contractual issues, so they can't really use RVD now. If Sandow had cashed in, I wouldn't have liked it because of the fact that it was only 2 months ago when we saw Orton cash in. So that to me is too close together. I'd rather see Sandow cash in a couple of months' time, maybe.
I just don't
And
want
plus,
Sandow to hold it forever and then end up like Ziggler, where he gets it for like a month or so. But I mean, maybe that was also partially because of Ziggler's injury, but still, they kind of just dropped the ball on Ziggler after he cashed in.
I think if he got it anyway, if he cashed in, I don't think he'd get it for more than a month or two. I can't see him having a long run with it.
Well, I
Just
think
doesn't to me fit the build as a world champion. I just can't see him as a champion. And if he is champion, he won't be for very long.
Well, I think Sandow's going to be a big superstar in the future. I mean, he's not really quite ready yet, and I think with how they did this one, if Sandow, since he didn't cash in here, pretty much ensures that he's not going to cash in for a while now, so that possibility is kind of out the window. Hopefully by then he'll be ready to be, because I think he will be a good heel in the future, but I just don't think he's quite ready yet to be able to cash in and be the world champion.
Well, no, because he hasn't really put on a good match at all, has he? Just that they've all been decent, nothing special. So
I thought his
he's
match with
great.
Cody at SummerSlam was pretty good, but that's really the only one I can think of.
Well, that was the one that was make or break for them, and they did all right. When that was probably the most important match so far in his career. It was all right. I think I don't like how they always make them lose all the time. It just to me, you can't believe in it. I think Ziggler got some big wins over Cena and whatever, so you could believe that he's can be world champion. But to me, at the moment, I can't see Sandow as champion at all because he just loses all the time. He looks like a joke. Great talker, but you can't talk your way into a world championship sometimes. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's one of the ones who does lose the match. But I don't. It would kill his career. But I think he'll cash in maybe TLC or something like that. I don't know. He won't be. The problem is that you don't want him to be champion around WrestleMania time. So for me, he'd have to cash in Hell in a Cell, Survivor Series, drop it at Royal Rumble, TLC time, and then do whatever they're going to do at WrestleMania. So he's either going to cash in soon or not until after WrestleMania.
Yeah, I really don't have any other comments left on Sandow. I mean, no, that's about it, actually. So the next match, pretty sure it was the Real Americans versus Kali and Santino. And this had an opportunity to be the flat-out worst match on the card just by outcome, because the first thing that popped in my mind was, I swear to God, if Santino and Kali win this.
Oh, you and me both.
Well, luckily they didn't, and Sandow actually, or not Sandow, oh God, Cesaro won with the giant swing. He hit the giant swing
Oh,
on Kali.
how good was that? Had Carly 7 foot tall, 400 pounds, swinging him around, and he did it a good 5, 6, 7 rotations as
I
well.
think it
So
was actually
pretty
up
good.
to like 10. I think he swung around like
All
10
right.
times.
Oh, okay.
He
Well
did
then,
the same thing to Brodus on main event. I guess
yeah,
that's
I
just.
haven't seen that. Yeah, I heard about it. I haven't seen it, but yeah, he's just freakishly strong. I think what I heard, the rumor is that he's actually in line for a babyface turn because when he does the swing, the crowd is going crazy for it. So, good way to get him over. And I think the Real Americans deserve a bit of a push. It was good because they got a promo beforehand, and then they had a good outing in the match. I mean, they had probably about as good as match as you can with someone with great Carly in it. So, I enjoyed it. I mean, it's Santino and Carly, so two of my most hated wrestlers, but yeah, it was all right.
Well, I think about that Cesaro face turn. I mean, I could get behind a Cesaro Swagger feud in the future, but I mean, they'd kind of have to win something, and that just gets to the whole situation with the tag team division.
Yeah, well, pretty much it wouldn't make no one would really care because they haven't been a team for that long. They haven't done anything meaningful. So, but I think Cesaro should be faced sometime soon. I think they got to push him. I mean, he's a freak of a talent. So, I mean, he paired him up with Zeb Coulter. I mean, they've just been kind of they're thrown together to put on good matches, but always to lose. So they're a good team, but they just never win. I just don't see them ever winning the tag team belts anytime soon. So they're just kind of together for just because. So it sucks, but it is what it is.
All right, so then they followed that up with, I mean, that whole giant swing needed its own cool-down match afterwards. They came back with Curtis Axel versus R-Truth for the Intercontinental title, and nothing really.
Three letters, D-U-D, dud. Terrible.
Yeah, there really isn't much to say about this one.
Crowd absolutely hated it. Axel's just boring. I'm sorry. I like R-Truth, but Axel sucks.
I haven't. The only time I really liked R-Truth was as a heel. I mean, before Little Jimmy came along, that's what killed R-Truth for me for like eternity. But as a heel, I thought he was pretty good. Now it's just, he's okay.
I think now he's just trying to hold on to what career that he has left. I mean, he's 40-something years old. He's past his prime. They're obviously never going to push him again because of his age. So, I don't know. I liked him as well. I didn't really see much of his heel work in 2011, but from what I have seen, it was pretty damn good. So I think he has the potential to be something great, but his age is just the only thing that's holding him back at the moment. So I think he's just going to be one of those guys who just gets thrown in a mid-card feud here and there and just to lose and whatever.
Yeah, there was actually a video on WWE.com, or not WWE.com, YouTube, that said like his career. I did not realize he was in the WWE in like 1999 with Road Dogg.
I knew he'd been around for that long, but I didn't realize he was in the WWE. I knew he was a bit of a pretty big thing in TNA, but
yeah, I just had no idea he had been in WWE before.
I think I read that he was in a tag team with Road Dogg. Road Dogg broke his neck or something, and then they fired R-Truth. So, yeah, I mean, obviously he's been around for a fair while, and I think hasn't really had an opportunity to break out and shine because of even when he's second or whatever, third run, I don't know what it was, but coming back recently. So, I mean, he's got a lot of potential. I mean, but I think, like I said, his age is the only thing that's going to be, only thing that's holding him back. But he's good in his role right now, coming in for a feud here and there with a mid card, and just doing the job.
All right, so yeah, Curtis Axel wins. He retained that one. Wasn't really a whole lot. Nothing really big in that one. We got some boring chants, I think.
Yeah.
that was pretty much right before they ended it, I think.
I think they got Axel heard the boring chant, and about 5 seconds later, the match ended.
Yeah. I still like his finisher, though. It was pretty cool. But, I mean, Axel, I can't get behind him until he can talk on a mic and get it away from his chin.
That's never going to happen. It's bad. A match is bad when you have more interest in the Divas match than it. So I think the next one was the Divas match, and
yeah,
probably better than the Intercontinental Championship match.
Yeah, it was better. The thing that really caught my attention was when AJ threw Brie Bella into the ring post or whatever. That's about the only thing I can remember. Well, except for the finish. But
I remember the finish. That's about it. When Tamina pushed Nikki or something, and Brie got distracted and lost.
Yeah, I didn't understand that finish at all. Why does AJ have to roll up Brie Bella? She can make Natalya tap out. But
heel, it's just a typical heel finish.
Yeah, but that means we're gonna get another match between these two, and what happened to AJ and Natalya? What happened there? Is WWE never gonna push her again? Is she dead now?
I think they're capitalizing on the whole Brie Bella getting engaged story. I think that they realize, all right, Bella's got engaged. She's somewhat of a relevant now, so let's just give her a half-ass push. I actually thought she could win the championship. I didn't think she would, but I thought, oh, there's a fair chance, especially when they kept saying, oh, the new power couple, new power couple. So I was like, oh, fuck, here we go. She's going to win the title. But thank God she didn't. She doesn't need the title. I think I wouldn't say she's above it, but she's not really used or known for her in ring work. She's just there to do the reality show and look good. That's all she's good for.
All right, so yeah, that's pretty much it there. Next
Was
was
it the
it?
White
I,
Kofi?
no, next I think it was the Rhodes family.
All right.
I'm pretty sure that was next,
Best match of the night.
without a
One of the
doubt.
better, without the one of the best tag team matches I've seen in a long time for its story, and also in ring was pretty fun as well. Just a brilliant story told. I mean, a family who just wants their job, who fought hard, have had to come back from all the troubles that Triple H and the administration kept throwing at them, and they finally got their big win, and just a great celebration. It was good to see at the end when they won, the whole locker room came out and celebrated as well. So it was a really good moment, just a really good match, just a great story told.
Yeah, the crowd was. This was like the one match the crowd is really hot for. They like there was the crowd like exploded for Goldust when Cody was like working the hot tag for Goldust, and then Cody got his own little pop there. Cody Rhodes, that finish, that crossroads was amazing. That was like out of control. He was like 2 feet in the air. I mean, he just I don't know. That crossroads was just definitely. I don't even know
The,
what to say about it.
this was the one match where I've come out of it saying Cody Rhodes is going to be a star. I mean, he was brilliant. The promo before the match from all three of them was fantastic. I think Cody Rhodes tonight proved that he is going to be a big deal in the next few years. World Heavyweight Championship is in his future very, very soon, and I can't wait. I think I've been wanting to get behind him for a long time, but he just hasn't really impressed me that much. But was uh, tonight was his big breakout match, I think.
Do you think there's a chance we'll get him versus Orton for the title? I mean, obviously he's not going to win, but just to get like away from Orton and Bryan at some point. Like I know Big
No,
Show's involved now, but like maybe in the
think
future.
I don't think so. I think if anything, we're gonna see Big Show and Orton op- op- occupying the championship for quite some time. Bryan will be in there. I think he probably won't win the title. I don't know whether Orton will win it or not. I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if we also see Big Show versus Triple H for the championship, or if just in a normal match. So I don't know, but we'll talk about that whatever as we get going. But I think with Cody Rhodes, I heard that Goldust is signed until WrestleMania. That to me suggest Cody Rhodes, Goldust, WrestleMania, the match they've been wanting for 2 years, a match that a lot of fans want to see. Have Goldust turn heel on Cody, have Cody continue his great run as a babyface, build him, work it up, build the feud for a good few months, and have a huge payoff at WrestleMania. Have Cody Rhodes beat his brother, and in a career versus career match, or yeah, just a career versus career match. Winner takes all, loser gone, and have Cody Rhodes beat Goldust, and that can be his final match, retirement match.
Oh yeah, I would definitely like to see that, especially since Goldust he's been. I mean, his in-ring work is still fantastic. He hasn't really missed a step. He actually hit a cross-body off the top rope. That was a bit of a shocker. But yeah, I definitely enjoy seeing that. Both superstars can work. They could tell a good promo if that's how things would go down. I would really enjoy that match.
Yeah, I mean they can get Dusty Rhodes involved again if they need to as well. So I think to me it just seems like the perfect feud, and I think that would be the one feud that would get Cody Rhodes super over. Have him beat Goldust at WrestleMania, and then have him go straight into World Heavyweight Championship scene and go from there. I think everyone's been wanting him to get that world title push. I think last year I was actually expecting him to win Money in the Bank this year as well. So to me, it's surprising that he hasn't had a world title run, considering he's been there for quite some time. And normally everyone gets a world title run after a few years. So he's been the one guy they've saved and saved and saved. I think he's just about ready to get that big big push for the world title.
Yeah, what the heck was up with Goldust's face paint tonight? I saw like a tweet from someone that it looked like it grew a beard. It was, it was
Yeah,
just all
it was not good.
it was all over
it,
the place.
it sucked that he didn't get his entrance as well. I wanted to see the Shattered Dreams entrance, but oh well.
They had
I
him come
think
out as a family.
Yeah, I think we'll see Goldust more often in the ring, anyways. I mean, because he can really go still. I mean, he's quick. Like you said, he did a crossbody. He's just doing everything. It's like he's hasn't aged. He's brilliant. I think the Shield they did very well as well. They played their part great.
No spear
Um,
though.
no spear. Do you think we could see them contest the Shield for the tag titles? I mean, the Usos were actually the number one contenders, but um, could you see the team of Goldust, Cody Rhodes, beat the Shield, get tag titles, have a short tag team title run until, I don't know,
I
just after
actually
the Royal
think
Rumble,
I
and
actually
then
think
have
that
them turn on each other?
I actually think that could really work out toward, and especially build towards like the Goldust Cody Rhodes feud, because then it sort of starts with them losing the belts and then build from there.
Yeah.
I could see them maybe taking the titles. Yeah, I could probably see that happening.
Plus, they're a team that you would believe that can beat the Shield as well. Because now technically they should be number one contenders, right? Or up there because they beat the Shield. So you could have them take the Shield on at Hell in a Cell and win the titles, and then they can have another match. Probably, I'd say it's Survivor Series. You're going to see the 5-on-5, Rhodes family, Daniel Bryan or whatever taking on the Shield and the Triple H and that. So you'll have something like that as well. So you can continue the feud there, and you can have just a extended feud between um, Cody Rhodes and Goldust in the Shield. And I don't know, you can see the slow downfall of the Shield if you want, with them losing the titles. And you can believe that the Cody Rhodes and Goldust can beat the Shield. So that's one team that could beat the Shield and wouldn't ruin them. Because if you have the Usos beat the Shield for the belts, you'd be like, really? So that's just one thing. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do at the moment. But for all I have to say is best match of the night. Went to that tag team match, and it just went down from there, unfortunately.
And the next up, which pretty much started everything, Bray Wyatt versus Kofi, the match that nobody cared about. We had
I
a
mean,
kind of a freaky moment when Bray Wyatt did that like crab walk or whatever. Kind of botched at the end where he fell, but he tried to kind of quickly flip over and just like crawl towards Kofi. That was really the only point in the match. I mean, the ending
that's the
sequence was pretty
only
cool.
thing I can remember from that match. So it was, uh, it was shit. I mean, Bray Wyatt, as soon as he gets in the ring, just nobody cares. I don't know. I'm still calling them a flop. I mean, where was Kane? Surely he's ready to come back now. I mean, that's the only thing I can really see saving Bray Wyatt at the moment is continuing this feud with Kane and having Kane coming back as a member of the Wyatt family. He's followed the Buzzards. But other than that, I mean, what can you really do with them? Because there is no other similar characters other than Kane that they can feud with. So having a feud with Kofi Kingston, who hasn't been relevant since 2009, isn't really going to do them any favors. So they either need to enter a big program with someone who matters, or I don't know, just give it up.
Well, I think the Wyatt family has a bright future. They just kind of need something to get started, and with Kane going off to film that movie or whatever, it kind of has to take some time to. They just have to kind of get themselves to that point. Because for now they really don't have much to do. But I think Bray Wyatt needs to get a little more mic work because we haven't really seen a whole lot. He can cut good promos. He was pretty good down in NXT. And I mean, I kind of like his ring style where he's like slow and methodical, but he can like pop out with some quickness every now and then, like that ending sequence of the match where Kofi like tried to go for the SOS, and then I think he might have tried to do like a Trouble in Paradise or something, but it was like an ending sequence where he put in the Sister Abigail and then got the win there. But I think the Wyatt family has a good future. It's just getting them something to get them
They
started.
just have no momentum at all, zero, and that's the big problem.
And it's going to be kind of tough to make some momentum. I mean, because they don't really have anything to do right now. People were saying they'd want to see the Shield and the Wyatt family, but I don't really see that happening, and definitely not anytime soon.
Well, I think we've discussed this on a previous podcast, but that match is not going to happen. That will not happen.
No.
And I can't see the Shield turning face either. I mean, why would they turn face? Who's going to buy them as faces anyway? So they'll break up before that anyways. So that match will definitely won't happen.
All right, so I think that's pretty much it for this one. Then next up was CM Punk versus Ryback, and
Shit.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, there was a point where, well, just the whole finish was weird. Like, he hit the low blow and then just pinned him
The
from there.
finish was shit. It was terrible. I mean, a low blow, and that took Ryback down. I know they did that at Hell in a Cell last year, but God, really? At least have him hit the GTS. I mean, you're pushing Ryback as a Paul Heyman guy and giving him this big bully hill run push, and you have him lose by a low blow. I mean, really?
Yeah, I don't really know. This had better be the end of this feud, which it probably won't be.
Yeah, I mean,
Hopefully, it
I
ends at
think.
Hell in the Cell, if anything, because I don't see where they can go with this.
Well, they've had CM Punk beat Ryback. What more can unless he debuts another Paul Heyman guy? God, I hope
Oh
not.
no 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 no.
But other than that, there's not much more they can really do. I think they're just done. This feud started what after Money in the Bank, at Money in the Bank, and now it's we're in October, so it's gone on for quite some time, and I think the fans had enough of it at Night of Champions, so they've extended it that little bit more, got as much as they could out of it. I think CM Punk's lost a lot of momentum now from this shitty feud, so he was on a huge high after Lesnar, and then I think they did this feud all wrong. I mean, they should have done Axel, Ryback, Lesnar, not the other way around. So you had the huge match of Lesnar, I don't know, Hell in a Cell Survivor Series, and then you could have had Axel and Ryback, feud with Punk for a little bit there, and then have a huge match. But instead, they had the huge match, then they had the shittiest match, then they had another shit match. So yeah, to me, I would be quite happy to see that feud end. But the only problem is, where does CM Punk go? Do you insert him in the WWE Championship scene? A lot of people actually wanting him to win the World Heavyweight Championship and make that kind of relevant again, which I could see happening. I wouldn't be surprised if he could step up and take on Alberto Del Rio for the championship.
I mean, yeah, 'cause they've kind of had a little. I don't want to say a feud, but they kind of had a little something in the
They have a bit of
past.
history. I mean, CM Punk's the beginning of his long title reign came from him beating Del Rio. So
Oh yeah, I forgot
I
about that.
mean, I mean, it could work. I mean, who else do you have to take on Alberto Del Rio? That's the thing, and it would mean it would be the second last match of the night, because whatever Punk's in is the second to last match of the night before the WWE Championship. So that would make the World Heavyweight Championship a little bit more relevant, and people might actually begin to care about it. I mean, the last time I cared about the World Heavyweight Championship, God, I couldn't tell you. So it's a problem that they do have with that. And where does CM Punk go from here? You can either bring him into the corporation storyline, which I don't think he needs to be there yet, or just have him have some mindless feud with someone, or just, I don't know, continue this whole Heyman Ryback Axel Punk feud.
Well,
God,
let's
no.
just hope that because we're probably gonna get a Hell in the Cell match, and then just
I
let it end
think
there. Just,
tomorrow night on Raw will tell everything pretty much. I mean, if CM Punk comes out and Heyman interrupts him, then we know he's going to be continuing. Or if they just say, "All right, I've got my revenge on Heyman. I'm all good now. Let's do something else," then we can cheer and be happy. But I think you're probably right. They'll probably grab one more match out of this at Hell in a Cell. Ryback, CM Punk. A rematch from last year, just not in the cell.
Yeah. And then finally we have, well, there was actually a power outage, and there was no main event. No. No, but there was like a power outage for a good like 5 minutes or so, and then they came back.
Yeah, I was like, what? I thought just the stream went down, but
Yeah, that's
turns
what
out
I thought.
the power went down in the stadium. So the stream came back on, or the show came back on, and
Justin
Justin
Roberts is
Roberts was
just
standing there. I'm like, oh, okay, well, it wasn't just us then. So yeah, I mean, this match was good. It was all right. The crowd was pretty weak until the end. Um, the finish, well, I think
uh,
this is probably the only talking point about the match. The finish, what the fuck?
I don't understand the logic of this. I mean, I'm glad we can finally get this gimmick Big Show's had of being Triple H's bitch. We can get that over with. But I mean, like, just like I don't even know where to go. I don't even know where to start. But I mean,
Well, he
eh,
comes out, what, takes out the referee,
yeah,
and
it's
then
just like,
Daniel Bryan's like, what the fuck are you doing?
and he knocks out Daniel Bryan.
Knocks out Daniel Bryan.
Scott
Maddox goes,
Armstrong, he
yeah,
comes
brings
out,
out Scott up. And we all thought, oh, here we go. Big Show's turning heel for the 42nd time. Then Armstrong comes out. Big Show knocks him out, enters the ring, and knocks Randy out. And then just stands tall. End of show. Double count out. What? I don't know. Just a
like,
no contest. Just all
I mean,
right. No.
yeah, there was no finish to the match. That's kind of the confusing point for me. He just knocks him
Could have had
out,
another ref. They
and
could have had another ref come out and double count them out at least.
yeah,
But they just ended. Yeah, Big Show's music played and they just walked out.
and he just like stands in the ring for like 5 minutes, and you're wondering what's going on. But I mean, I guess this could kind of, it has some benefits. I guess we can get away from Orton and Bryan, which I mean, I don't.
My initial reaction to Orton Bryan was it needed a stipulation, it needed something different for this match because we already saw a singles match between those two. We've seen it a number of times now. We needed something extra. We needed a no DQ at least. You know, I thought they were rumored was to be an Iron Man match. I thought that would be cool, or you know, a last man standing match. They needed to do something different, and I think if they had done something different, it would have definitely helped in the buy rate. And it just didn't seem that appealing to me. I mean, okay, we know what we're going to get out of Orton and Bryan. We know it's going to be a pretty good match. Nothing special, but, you know, we thought, okay, it's going to be pretty good. Good enough to watch. And it pretty much was just that. It was just a good match that you probably see in a Raw main event. Nothing really special. And then the Big Show came out and did his thing, and we're all just going, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, just overall, the pay-per-view as a whole seemed like something that would belong on a Raw. I mean, the one thing that belonged for the pay-per-view was the Rhodes family match, but other than that,
That was the only pay per view quality match. That was the only match I thought, oh wow, that was good. That was worth watching for. The others, I could have skipped it and would have been okay. So, I mean, where do you go with this WWE Championship feud? I think the Big Show's inserted himself. I actually thought they were going for Triple H versus the Big Show at a pay per view down the line, which still could happen. Because, we had the Big Show, trying to search for Triple H and trying to knock him out or whatever. So the way I kind of grasp it is the Big Show's come out, he's done what he's been told to do, and he's gone, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to do what I want, who cares what happens to me, and he just knocks out Orton as well, and, just kind of sending a message to Triple H that, he's not going to do what he's told, he's his own man, and, yeah, I mean, do we see Big Show insert into the world title, WWE Championship feud? He always seems to be like the third guy. He seems like to be the third wheel. They just throw him in for a triple threat match here and there just to change it up. So that could be what they do at Hell in a Cell, triple threat Hell in a Cell. Or you could do Bryan and Orton again. But I don't know. I think Bryan Orton Hell in a Cell, have a decisive finish. Who wins? Probably Bryan. And then you could have Big Show take on Bryan, or I don't know. I really don't know. It just there's only they have a lot of limited possibilities here because they don't really have that many top guys that you can throw in there to mix it up, really. So that's a big problem I see.
Well, I think with the addition of Big Show, that could work to maybe try and get Bryan just out of the title picture for a while. I mean, if you're trying to build like top faces, then I think Orton needs to keep the belt, and with the addition of Big Show, this is a way, Orton could win the title, and Bryan doesn't take a pin or something happens, and Big Show takes the fall, and then we can get Daniel Bryan maybe for like Survivor Series in that tag match, and maybe get Big Show and Orton, or maybe just throw all three into the Survivor Series match or whatever. But I personally don't want to see Daniel Bryan win unless it's like a big stage, so like a Royal Rumble or
I
maybe
think
even.
Daniel Bryan will win the Royal Rumble, and then he'll go on to WrestleMania and finally win the belt.
That could work.
I want to see CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan WrestleMania. That's my WrestleMania 30 dream match at the moment. Will it drag out that long? I don't know, but I think probably a good thing would be to have Daniel Bryan lose to Orton, have Orton win the belt, have Orton feud with Big Show for a while, drag that out, have Daniel Bryan win the Royal Rumble and goes to WrestleMania, gets the big win, and he'll be standing tall at WrestleMania. Think I think that's a good way to go about it. You can have it drag out. The only problem is, can you keep Daniel Bryan's momentum going for that long? I don't know. That's the only big question, really. I think we probably could. I think he's doing pretty well. I think it has been dying off a little bit, but I think he's still going pretty strong.
That's why I think they need to get him out of the title picture because I mean, if he's just going to keep losing or not winning the belt, then his momentum's going to slowly die down. But if you put him into something else, it can build his momentum back up, and that way he's not winning the title yet. So then by the time he does win, then there's just this giant celebration, and then Daniel Bryan's over. I don't know. I mean, also we have to worry about John Cena being added in probably around Royal Rumble time, what they're going to do with him.
Yeah, and Sheamus. So
Oh,
I think
God.
Sheamus will turn heel. I think Sheamus will come back as a heel. Um, I don't think Cena will come back in the Royal Rumble match. I would assume he won't win it. Let's be honest. He won't win it again.
Maybe that could be, like, say, Daniel Bryan. That'd be kind of cool if we see, like, Daniel Bryan come out, like, number 1 or 2, and then Cena maybe comes in, if not number 30, just somewhere in the... Maybe that'd be a little overboard. But, like, Cena would be, like, number 30, and then the final 2, or Cena and Bryan, or something like that.
Bryan's gone to 60 minutes. Cena's fresh, just come back from injury, and you have Bryan beat Cena again. That would be pretty cool.
I
I
don't
think
know.
Bryan needs to be one of those guys. If he's going to win it, he's got to be one or two, number 1 or 2 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Have him be, I think it was like Benoit. He comes in real early, so he's got to be one of those guys. I don't think it would be pretty crap if he came in like number 18 or something and won it. If he's going to win it, number 1 or 2.
I just don't know if having him come in at, like, 1 or 2, and then Cena being, like, the last guy, if that might be a little overdoing it. But, I mean, I don't know. If you're trying to make the transition to Bryan as the face of the company, that'd probably be the way to do it.
He's not going to be the face of the company, but I think he's going to be like
Well, he'll be up there.
Yeah, he's going to be like the Kurt Angle, who's like always up there in the main event scene, and he can put on the fantastic matches all the time. But he's not going to be. The show's not going to revolve around him. It has revolved around him recently, but already that's kind of gone away. It's now revolving more around Triple H. No surprise there.
Well, then that kind of raises the question, who does take over Cena's spot as face if it's not going to be Bryan? I mean, Punk, he's only got so much time left. He'll be out then.
I don't think it's going to be any of the current stars. I think...
Really?
It's not going to be Punk. He just doesn't have the look. I mean, he's not super popular as it is. He's not mainstream popular. It's not going to be Bryan. Doesn't have the look as well. It's got to be someone who's got that, larger than life look, and, and can do it. Can do it all. I mean, he's got to be
Cesaro?
marketable.
I don't really see Cesaro as a
Well,
face of the...
he's not American. That's the one thing. He's got to be American. When do you see a face of the company not American? Well, they could be Canadian, but still, even that's pushing it.
Well, I mean, maybe it'll get to a point where there won't really be one face of the company, because, I mean,
I
we've
think
got
so.
so many good talents like Ambrose and Cesaro and Bryan and Rollins and some guys down at NXT where you can sort of... It won't just all revolve around one person or feud. There'll be a few that you can actually get behind. You won't have to focus on just one. So kind of share the spotlight.
I think if we're going to see a replacement for Cena, it's going to be 3, 4 guys. You're going to have Punk, Bryan, Orton, someone else. Sheamus, someone else. So you got to have three or four different guys, not just the one. I don't think we'll see the one top guy only for quite some time because it ended up being Cena, but originally it wasn't just Cena when he won the in 05, 06. It was Batista, it was Edge, still had The Undertaker, still had Triple H, Shawn Michaels, so you still had all those guys. It wasn't really until about 2008, 9, 10 when it was just all Cena. So it's going to take some time to someone who's already becomes a main event guy, then transitions to that number one guy. So it's going to take some time. So I don't think we'll see the next face of the company for 3, 4, 5 years. I don't think. Plus, Cena will still be around. Will he be still as relevant? Probably not, but still, I think there's enough new guys there to carry the load.
Well, I think on his way out, John Cena has to go to SmackDown at some point and try to put over that brand a little more. Maybe get a world title run, but I mean, SmackDown really needs some help over there. And I mean, when Cena comes back,
SmackDown has improved a lot. I don't know. I
it
haven't been
has, but I mean,
in
it's
the last
still
few
compared to
months. It's
Raw, it
been
is kind
really
of behind.
good. Yeah, well, it's always gonna be the B show, but I would love to see the brand extension back. It was not going to happen, but that to me was what made SmackDown great. You had almost a separate show, separate. You see guys that you don't see on Raw and SmackDown. You had a reason to tune in every week, and SmackDown's just a continuation of what happens on Raw. So, if it's Raw, it was pretty shit that week. SmackDown's going to be pretty shit that week, but I think it's used to kind of it should be used more so I think to put over mid card, upper mid card guys and keep the huge stories on Raw and have the stories that don't really get much time on Raw continue that on SmackDown, give that a chance rather than just have corporation angle on Raw, corporation angle on SmackDown. You can have corporation angle on Raw, IC title, US title angle on SmackDown. I think that's what they should use it for, rather than just continue just the main event, the main story on SmackDown. Build more and more stories, because that's one thing that has lacked. I mean, we look at this pay-per-view. What, 4 matches in it? Just had nothing behind it. Had a couple of weeks of build. That's it. You'd like to see. I understand. I mean, Night of Champions and Battleground. The weeks between it was not very long at all. I think it was 2 weeks, 2, 3 weeks. So that's one problem they have as it is, but I think still they just need to build up the matches. If they want people to care, they have to build it up.
That kind of leads off of what we said in the last podcast about merging the World Heavyweight and the WWE titles, because then you could use SmackDown to build like the mid-card belts that really never have anything behind them, and make one or maybe both of them kind of sort of like an X Division sort of role where you win the title and then once you're done with that title, then like when you're ready to move up to the main event, then you drop the belt. I mean, you don't have to just give it up, but I mean, like, you have to work. You have to like build up your popularity. You have to work before you can actually become a main event guy, but you can still be like an upper mid card by working with either of those two belts.
Yeah, definitely. But I don't know. I think like SmackDown the last 2 months has actually gotten really, really good. I stopped watching it for about a year, and everyone kept saying, "Oh, it's gotten a lot better than what it was," because it was really awful. But now it's watchable. It's pretty good. I don't watch it every week, but when I get to it, I enjoy it. So that's a positive at the moment. I think the quality of WWE programming at the moment is actually improved a lot. this year. I think since WrestleMania and Extreme Rules, probably more so. It's been really, really good. So I think things are on the up. I think. I mean, the last two pay-per-views have been pretty shit, but let's be honest, they're not really important pay-per-views. So Hell in a Cell's another really kind of nobody gives a shit pay-per-view, but we need to have a good build-up to Survivor Series. I think I'd be really, really disappointed if we don't see a 5-on-5 traditional tag team match, because that to me is probably one of my favorite matches, the 5-on-5. So I'd love to see a Corporation versus Daniel Bryan and friends or whatever.
I think we usually get two each year for Survivor Series. It's just a matter of if they matter or not. And a corporation being one of them, maybe you have another to sort of build up the younger talent.
Well, look at last year's. I mean, what was it? Mick Foley versus Dolph Ziggler.
That was
Wasn't
pretty
it
much
meant
to
be?
put over Ziggler, though, over Orton.
But it was meant to be. Wasn't it meant to be Foley versus CM Punk? And then
I
they
don't.
changed it last minute and it became just nothing. So it was just dumb. So did they have another one other than that? I don't know.
They
might
had
have.
Team Tensai versus Team Brodus Clay, which was pretty much putting over young
Oh
talent.
oh my god. Well, there you go. So this year, you can have the Rhodes family versus the corporation, and you can probably have I don't know. I don't know, but whatever. I mean, gotta have. I think huge, just two big matches. You got to really use the concept and use it well. Don't just throw because last year two random crappy matches together just because we have to use the 5-on-5, so we better just throw two together. So that's one thing. Survivor Series has not been good for a long time. I'm surprised they've kept it. I mean, it could be on the out. I think if things don't start to pick up. So it's hard to believe it's one of the big four because I have not looked forward to Survivor Series for a long time. So this year, I would love to see a really, really good 5-on-5 match. And the only problem is, do you have the WWE Championship match as well, or do you have the WWE Champion and whoever he's feuding with take each other on a 5-on-5? That's probably the only real issue, and I think I'd rather see them in a 5-on-5, especially this year. They can really easily do it because they have the corporation, have Triple H wrestle, have Randy Orton and the Shield, and you can have Daniel Bryan, Big Show, and Cody, Goldust, Ziggler, maybe, and something like that would really work well. Or actually, you could throw in Punk as well instead of Ziggler if you wanted. So, I think Survivor Series has a great potential. I think Hell in a Cell is going to be another kind of pay-per-view. So, I think the next month or two won't be that great, but we'll see. We'll wait and see. I won't judge it yet, but from what I can see from the last two pay-per-views, things aren't really going that well in terms of the big shows. But week-to-week programming's been pretty good, so I won't bash it too much. But I don't know. I guess we'll just final thoughts. I think tonight's show probably 5, 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd give it about a 6, maybe 6.5 if I'm feeling generous.
Had its moments, but nothing really good. I mean, just too many filler matches. 4 matches and no build. God, the Divas match had more build than half the show. So that tells the story. And a lot of what the fuck finishes as well. So 5, we'll give it a 6 out of 10.
Alright, it seems fair. And sort of last thoughts on Hell in the Cell. I mean, if there is only like 1 or 2, I mean, 2 might be okay, but if there's only one Hell in the Cell match, I mean, what's really the point of having these gimmick pay-per-views if you don't have...
They only had one last year, didn't they?
I don't know. I don't think I really watched it at the time. Oh, wait, no. We had
They had a
Ryback Punk.
CM Punk, and that was it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it. I can't really think of anything else.
Yeah, so... I think I wouldn't mind seeing a tag team Hell in a Cell match. Maybe Rhodes versus the Shield Hell in a Cell. That'd be cool. Or and then have you could have a triple threat Hell in a Cell or 1-on-1 Bryan Orton Hell in a Cell. So I don't know what they're doing in the Big Show, if they're going to throw him in the WWE Championship match or not. But
maybe they could use the Hell in the Cell as like an angle to keep Big Show out, because I mean title would technically still be vacant because nobody won. So maybe they'd pull
That's
that
true.
angle.
They could say, all right, well, Big Show's interrupted and interrupted the last match, so we'll use the Hell in a Cell to get rid of to get rid of him. So yeah, I think that's actually a really good idea. I think that would probably be the route they'll take. But I think if they only have one Hell in a Cell, you kind of feel ripped off. It's the whole show's Hell in a Cell. You want to see the Hell in a Cell, and recent Hell in a Cell matches have been terrible anyway. So um, I don't know. I think two would be good. I would, like I said, Rhodes Scholar, not Rhodes, Team Rhodes versus the Shield Hell in a Cell is something I would love to see. But two minimum, and probably any more than three would be overkill. But at least two.
Well, I think putting the Shield inside Hell in the Cell, that could definitely set up for one giant spear for Roman Reigns.
Plus,
Just like spear through the cage.
You could have the tag titles on the line.
Mm-hmm.
Keep Ambrose out as well.
True.
Keep Dusty Rhodes out as well. So it's just 2-on-2, no interference.
I think that could work.
For it. Plus, it's been heated up, and the feud's kind of at that point where Hell in a Cell, could be a good idea to really step it up a notch. I think it warrants it. I think a Hell in a Cell would make sense there. But if you had Del Rio and RVD Hell in a Cell or something, that would, who would really give a shit about that? But I think if you had the Shield and the Rose family Hell in a Cell, I think that would work.
Yeah, this is a case where like a Hell in a Cell could work, but only in like certain spots. Like there are a lot of feuds that it wouldn't work for. But I mean, you have two, and that'd be fine. I mean, two is enough for Hell in a Cell.
We don't want to see CM Punk Ryback Hell in a Cell again. Like we saw that last year, we don't need to see that again. So that match, that feud certainly won't have Hell in a Cell. So it's probably going to just be the main event, I would say. I think they'll get away with one match, Hell in a Cell. I can't see more than two happening, but I hope there is, but I can't see it.
You think maybe? Nah, I really hope this doesn't happen. But like maybe we get a handicap Hell in the Cell, like Punk versus Ryback, Axel Heyman. Oh God, that sounds terrible.
I'm cringing right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's forget about that. Pretend I never said that. Can I edit that out?
Oh God,
right.
I would quite happy if we don't see Punk and Heyman in the same ring, or Punk Ryback in the same ring, and Axel as well. So just end that feud, and we'll end this. That's it.
Yep.
I think we've done well. Battleground 6 out of 10, and that'll do it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. And go check out Math Wiz's channel. Check out my channel if you're watching this on him. So, any final thoughts?
That's Cesaro swing.
That's Cesaro swing.
That's it.